Welcome to part 2 of my Ho 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 Paper Pumpkin video. I'm Sandy of Lolly and Sand, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. So in part 1, I made the cards from the Paper Pumpkin kit per the instructions. For part 2, I'm changing things up. So let's get started. First thing I wanted to show you is an embossing folder I used for card number 1. We'll be making 3. And I can show you this, but I find that this shows up much better. So it's called Whimsical Woodland 3D Embossing Folder, and you would find that in the mini catalog. So I love the pattern it makes. So let's bring that in. There we go. There it is on basic white. Alrighty. So all my bases are identical. They're all basic white, and they are all 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. For this one, the layer, I think, is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let's attach that. Remember when I said when I use this? Oh, well, that one kind of messed up. I don't feel the necessity to go all the way around. It's not going anywhere. It's paper. I'm just going to line it up and push it down. There we go. That's on. So in changing this up a little bit, I decided, I know the kit comes with strips of this paper, but I wanted something different. So I'll show you what I did with the envelope. You can get pieces out of this that you would not have expected. Okay, so I just opened it up, and when I saw this flap, I went, well, that would be kind of cool. So I cut it off of a different envelope. I just cut it off and went, I rather like that. So when you're cutting this, look, like the pattern on this is really cool, and you can get lots out of it. So here's one of your fold marks. This is where you would adhere the card. So I basically cut this piece off, and I cut it at the already made score line. I cut the 2 sides off. And then I cut along here, and then just cut these pieces off. So I have another curved piece here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate pieces, and this one can clearly, look at the size of that. I'll fold that up, or I'll fold that back, so you can see that's a good sized piece. And you can do whatever you want with it. So I just thought that was awesome. Using the inside of the envelope, why not? So for this piece, I just thought it was kind of cool. Now it's actually just a smidge longer than I need, so I could cut that using my paper snips, but I'm going to use my trimmer. And a good reason for that is because I don't trust myself to cut it straight. So I'm just going to cut off just where the curve starts here. Make sure when you're using, hopefully you can see that, make sure when you're using your paper trimmer that you have your paper right up against, but not gushed. This is thinner. My shirt's stuck in it. It's thinner than cardstock, so you don't want to smush it too much. There we go. Okay, this card, oh, you know what? It does require stamping. I was going to say it doesn't, and I went and put the stamp away. Drat. Oh, memento. Here's my paper pumpkin kit. I'm pretty sure I put them in here. There they are. Yep. I thought I'd had cut extras, but I didn't. I still think I have. I just don't know where they are. Okay, so I want Christmas, and I'm just going to grab another block that we're using later. You can do this. Oh no, I told you in my last video I was going to clean my blocks. I didn't. We've been busy. I have pictures that I'll be posting in the next, I don't know, few days or so. Okay, so in the kit you get the early espresso Stampin' Spot. With this, I'm using a Tuxedo Black Memento. And it's no big deal. Because I'm not trying to stamp straight, I can do it this way and have another stamp here. And there it is. Perfect. But I'm going to take that off. So it's just because the other one I need to see better. So take that off. trying to not get myself totally inked up on the first video. And my scissors are right here. So these are these Stampin' Up! paper snips. You want to be careful. They're good and sharp, and you're going to love them because they're good and sharp. I think that's important. I find it hard to find a reliable, I know that sounds silly, a reliable pair of paper snips. I bought so many and they're uncomfortable, mostly because, one, they're not left-handed. That's crooked. And it hurts my hand because sometimes I cut a lot. And I know with my paper quilling, and when I have to cut these tiny little 1/8 of an inch strips, I know you can't probably even see that, but you can hear the noise. They're so tiny that I have to have scissors that aren't going to hurt my hand. So if you don't have the paper snips, you might want to add that to your Christmas list. I'm not getting as close as I would like. My paper was quite small there at the end. A little bit of white's not going to hurt anything, though. I may trim it up. I might be able to easily trim it up. I've got my fingers in the way. There we go. All right, so let's bring this in. I've adhered this to the card. I will adhere this to the card. This card's really simple. Really, really simple. So we'll be stepping things up with the next couple cards. Sometimes I like to make cards that are, let's not challenge ourselves. In the first video, I showed you this is where all the snowflakes came out of, and then I showed you these. And these little sprigs are from the holly berry dies. So I was able to get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these sprigs. And here they are. And look, they're iridescent, they're pretty, and they're easy. Now, I wanted to put Merry Christmas. I don't need this now. Okay, I'm just going to say ho, ho, ho. Pardon me. My original card, which I will show you momentarily, says Merry Christmas. Unfortunately, I couldn't find another one of the Marys in the kit, so either I put it somewhere or I don't know what. So I'm just deciding how I'm going to attach this. I think I used glue dots maybe in my first video. That was a couple days ago and I don't remember. Good memory, Sandy. And I'm just dotting it. I'm not trying to have it gush out, just dotting it, and that will hold. So this will be interesting since I don't have what I wanted for this. It's going to be way more simple than I thought. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Well, because I wanted these sprigs, which I think I can still do. Yeah, I can still tuck them under. So we're going to go ho, 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 sprigs. I'm using the Santa in card number 2, in case you're wondering, why doesn't Sandy just use the Santa? Yeah, there we go. Glue dots and my Take Your Pick tool. And again, if you don't have the Take Your Pick tool, get it added to your Christmas list. I may have to squish this a bit. Oh, if you hear any little voices, that's my grandson. I heard him say, Paw Patrol. If you have grandchildren or children, young children, you'll know what I mean by Paw Patrol is like the be-all and end-all for little ones. Okay, I'm just going to roll that up a bit. I don't want it to be, oops, almost turned it over. Now, with this card not having Merry Christmas on it as I had planned, I think I'm going to, I'll use some embellishments. If I could, nope, no Sandy. And I'm just going to snip off this little end here. There. So I'm going to tuck it under, and it's just, I don't want it to be too mushy-gushy. Could I go there? I could go there. All right. Alrighty, one more. Oop, I thought I felt one way back here. I did. There it is. Sometimes you miss them, and just do what I did. Just run your fingers along, and you'll find it. You'll find what you're looking for. There. We're also going to put some of these guys on. And I'm trying to use the whole sheet. I'm trying not to ignore the big guys, because I usually ignore the big guys. So not today. Not today, friends. We are going to use a variety. Now I see the trees here, and it would kind of be smart to put one at the very top of a tree, I think. I don't want to steal that last little one. And maybe we'll just go over here. There. Now, the other thing I would do is I would take, where'd you go? I would take my Wink of Stella. I'm not going to do it because I don't have my desk covered. I would take my Wink of Stella. You would pull the lid off. You'd give it, if it's full, don't give it a good squish. And then you would simply go tap, 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 tap. And when you hold it up, your whole card will be sparkly. This one's almost empty. And like I said, I don't have my desktop covered. So there is that card. This is how it was supposed to look. So I'll have to see if I can find something to go there, because that was not the plan. So that's my very, very simple card. And we will put that aside. Let's bring out card number 2. Where is my top piece of paper? Right here. Right here. And because these are photopolymer, actually I'll go this way. I will go this direction. Let's move, oops, close your glue, lay it down on its side. For videos, or if you're stamping a bunch of things, lay your glue on its side if you don't have a holder to hold it. Okay, so here's our Santa, and I'm going to use Memento Black. And every time I get a really cute image, I like to do this. So let's make sure we're in the center here. First thing I'm going to do is just plop one right down there. And you want to make sure that 1, you don't get inky fingers, and 2, have fun with it. Just have fun. And I don't want them to go the same direction all the time, because that would be really boring. So, yes, there's going to be an upside down Santa on here, which I think is cute. And some, well, the only guy not off the page is going to be that guy. I can tell you that right now. We can do a sideways Santa. So it looks like he's kind of ho-ho-ho, jolly, rolling around, because that's what our Santa would do. Alrighty, and we might just go right side up for this guy. And I have a little space here that I would like to fill just a little bit, so we'll have the little bit of a hat. And I think that's it. I'm going to stop there. Sometimes you just keep going and you want to just stop. Just stop. Alright, remember to store your memento upside down. Okay, it keeps the ink at the top of the ink pad. Mine's pretty messy looking. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is bring in my blends, and we're going to do some really fun coloring. So we have our Parakeet Party. Parakeet Party? Yeah, Parakeet Party. Sorry, don't jiggle your hands so much. Starry Sky and Sweet Sorbet. And what I thought, now my first, I do have a, which one do I want? That's dark and light. So these are dark and light. They come dark and light. I'm going to use the light, because on my first one, the dark turned out really dark. Try to stay away from the actual edge. You'll notice, see that little space there? If it doesn't fill in, I can do that after, but you just want to make sure that you don't go over the line, or you'll have to do... I actually didn't finish the first card, because I did go over the line. I did, it's true. So, in the comments, let me know if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. If you're like me and you really like making cards, then you might think, oh, I don't want to do Paper Pumpkin. But the funny thing is that you can, I want the light, that you can change up your Paper Pumpkin like we're doing today. So now we're moving on to Sweet Sorbet. You know what? Let me try the other end. I used the bullet end for my sample card that I didn't finish, but I'm going to switch. I find just move your paper around. Move your paper around. Alrighty. I think I'm going to make this guy red as well. Let me just see. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Okay, that's going to work. I'm not doing any more blue. You might be thinking, what are you talking about, Sandy? Why not? Well, I'll find out. Yeah, that information's coming soon. Now, if you know someone who says, oh, I love that you make cards. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, I'm not crafty. I'm not creative. I'm not, you know what? Get them a Paper Pumpkin subscription. You can get 1, 3, 6, or 12 months. Did I add the darker? You know what? I'm just going to stick with light for all of these. If I want to darken them up, I can. I'm just adding the darkness around the top of the white part on the hat and on around the dark part here. I'm going to do all the red ones first whilst the lid is off. That seems like the best idea. So I knew with this kit I had to have it. With Paper Pumpkin, if you're like, oh no, they're going to be, I don't know, make it up. If they're going to be treat boxes, you're like, oh no, I don't want treat boxes. Well, then you just skip a month. You can do that. Easy peasy, you can do it. Do you remember a long time ago we had, not even a long time ago, it was the moose stamp. It was a really cool moose and he had a punch. And I did a card with the moose in various directions. And I absolutely loved that card. I just thought it was whimsical and fun. And we don't have to be serious all the time, do we? Do we? I don't think so. Alrighty. Let's keep going. Now, if you have found that, let's say you did the blue way too dark, we do have a color lifter. And you just would go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh with the color lifter and take off a little bit of the color. You don't want to grind it in. Nope, you just want to go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You can tell I have a grandson because of the noises. Everything is boop, whoosh, swoosh, you name it. Alrighty, green, more green. I'm not your expert colorer. Don't be afraid of Stampin' Blends. Okay, do not be afraid of them. Just play with them, have fun. They're very forgiving. Very forgiving, which is what I like. And you can see, you can probably see best on the blue one. You can see the light in the dark. And that's simply by not going over that same area twice. Well, I forget what the sentiment looks like, but I'll think of it in a moment. There we go. That is super cute. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and bring out, oh, that's not the stamp, this one. Are you the right one? Yes, you are. And my paper that I was using before. Don't need a big spot, but I at least have to know that I can hit that spot. So I'm looking around saying, I think there was more for this card, but you know, I'll find it. I will find it. Let's move these guys out of the way. All right. Now, I don't know if you know this. I think you probably do. Let me just take that off. So when you're going into your ink pad, let's say you go once, take a look at it. You can see through, and if you look right here, I didn't get anything on the top of the H. That will save you going, stamping, going, oh, rats, it didn't work, and then you have to do it again. All right? So you just look through your stamp. It can't completely do that with the red rubber. You can turn them over and just kind of look that it's all on there. Okay, what was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. It's this one. Here we go. Ho, 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 Santa Claus is coming to town. I knew that was somewhere. And taking another look. Again, not worrying if it's straight or crooked. because they're going to be cut out, so we don't have to think about it. Am I done with this color? I am not. We'll keep, that was Starry Sky, sorry. That was Starry Sky, my friends. Alrighty, so ho ho ho, I would cut all the way around it, and then I would do this. Oh, look at that, it's cut all the way around. So there's that. I'm going to cut it off though, because I'm going to bring in the cutter again. My fuzzy cutting's pretty slow, which is why I have that ready. Plus it was for the original card. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hit the light. Oops. Alrighty, so we've done this before. It's not necessarily straight, so you don't want to put your paper right there and start cutting. What you want to do is bring your paper away from the edge. Make sure your t-shirt is not in the cutter at this side. And you can see right here, right here, this is where the blade runs. So I'm going to bring this out, and I'm hoping you can see that it's not in the wrong spot. You can see the bottom of the sentiment, and it looks pretty even, so all I have to do is pull it up ever so slightly until I can't see it, and then cut. Now with this, you want to use a big enough piece of paper, and this is because you need something to hold on to. Part 1 you got, part 2 you have to hold on to. All right, so let's do the same thing, but it's going to be from the other side. So I can see it. This time I'm pushing it away from myself. Pushing, pushing, pushing. If you don't like it, just do it again. I've been known to do that. I will cut this end. Probably should have cut the other first, but I think we're good. We're good. There. So I'm not usually super keen on square ones, and I think I just smudged that a little bit. Okay. Had to make sure there wasn't anything on there. Alrighty. So since I don't have this card together, we'll be figuring it out together. Alrighty, so my card base, again, same as the first. My layer, same as the first. And I'm going to flip it over. This is why we layer. This would show right through, if I didn't have a layer, it would show right through on the inside of your card. You would not like that. I'm sure you would not like that. I wouldn't like it. Oop, it works best if you take the cap off. That's a pro tip, just so you know, write that one down. Can't imagine how many times I've done that and not taken the cap off. Even though I know it won't work without it. And we're good. Okay. Alrighty. Look how vibrant that is. Those are 3, by the way, of the new ink colors. I thought 3 was enough. If I used all 5, I think it would be a little bit too much. So I just went with 3 very happy colors. So on my original, I messed up right here. So the ho 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 was going to go right there. But I think I should be able to do something, well, I don't know. I kind of come to Sandy, kind of like it up there, but not too far away. And I don't want to cover up his face necessarily. Oh, we're not done. You know what I forgot to do? Oh, where is it? Okay, this is my polished pink. And I totally forgot. This will not go through. Should not go through. Can't believe I forgot that. Okay, we're just going to dot his nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. And dot all the noses. Isn't that cute? I tried other colors, and you know what? Just by putting just this little bit on is good. If you want him to have rosy cheeks, same thing, just dot a little bit of color, Don't go nuts so crazy. You just want to stay really light. That's up a little high. And just keep going. Dot, dot, dot. We used to, when we made, when my dad, the wood cutter, when he would cut out wooden pieces for us, I would make lots of Santas. I would always have rosy cheeks. And they always had to be really subtle, like he's not wearing a ton of blush, let's put it that way. Alrighty, there. The other thing you can do is, now I'll show you what I did. Come here. Is I put Winkostella on the hats, and then I regretted it right away. You can put Winkostella on just these little, this little ball part. That might be a little more subtle. It was just too much on the hat. Sometimes, again, less is more. The other thing I would do with this card after the fact is the same thing. If it's empty like this one, squeeze. If it's not empty, you don't have to squeeze. Or another tip, you could pretend this isn't here. You could squeeze some onto your acrylic block and take it from there. Then you don't have to worry about getting a blob. So you would pick it up from your acrylic block and still do very light taps. So after the fact, I will do that to this. All right, we're going to need some little dimensionals. So these are the minis, and if you don't have them, use the big ones and cut them. I have both sizes, and I have them in black, which I think I can't remember if I'm using for any of these cards. Oh, I was going to use them on the first card, but since I didn't have a Mary, the Christmas in black didn't need black dimensionals underneath. All right, so where were we going with this? Ho, 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 Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm going to cut this a little closer. See if we can do that straight. Oop, too far from the edge. And boop. I always stay just a little bit away there. If I don't look at the sentiment, I can't see it, can I? That was a dumb idea. Boop. There, boop, that's the other word. Boop, 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 boop. Alrighty, we are almost done card number 2. Just that, the decision of maybe we should just kind of do it like, nope. I'm going to put that right on his beard. Why not? Oh, I like it. And then I'm just going to tuck that under just a tiny little bit. But I'm going to pop it up because I have to. Are you not stuck to anything? Oh, no, it's still sticky. It was just floating around on top. And there we go. Thank you, by the way, for all your kind comments recently. I haven't had a chance to look at them. I'm sorry, I've looked at them. I haven't had a chance to reply. I see them in they go straight to my Gmail, so I read them there and I go, I must get to that. And that was the plan for today. And then I decided I needed to do part 2. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, you know what? That's just a little rough right there. I have to fix it. Ever so there, because my scissors weren't quite in the right spot. I just tuck it ever so slightly. There, we didn't go over his face, which is good. Are you crooked? No, no. And again, Wing Costella on it would be perfect. Okay, let's go to card number 3. Let's move this out of the way. Card number 3 is quite different. So the first thing I did is I took a piece of craft paper, which I love. It's different than, this way. It's different than the crumb cake. So I did the whole thing. So this little snowflake is in that set. So every stamp I've used is all from the Paper Pumpkin, which is cool. We haven't gone outside of Paper Pumpkin for stamps. We have for dies because they don't have dies. Anyway, so it was like so, and I just wanted a little piece, so I still have probably enough for 2 more cards. And this paper is 6 by 6. Another, as far as I'm concerned, must have for your craft stash. Now here's the other thing, and I haven't used this for ages. These are both of these, I should say, are both scallop contour dies, and it's a good set. And I love the fact that they're not all the same on the edge. So this just looked really light, and it looked light and pretty and kind of just exactly what I wanted. After I die cut this, I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. Okay, so now you know about those. Move that aside, and I'm going to bring in the paper. Oh, I found something. Okay, so I'm not wasting anything. I had this extra little strip. So this is another one of the envelopes. Remember that from yesterday. That would be cute on its own. So maybe what I should try to do is stamp over here. So I still have that. So again, from the stamp set, where'd you go? Right here. And I'm going to use this piece as well. So bringing out Starry Sky again. Oh, and the inks are different than in the kit. Okay, so, oh, there it is there. So stamp here. And I thought the reason I'm stamping on this, and I hope you can see that, is it is kind of the, I'm going to say that's more of a crumb cake color. But on this side, it's just like a really fine stripe. And it doesn't matter what direction I do this because I'd be cutting it. So it doesn't matter. And I just think it's nice sometimes to have a really pretty background. And that makes it really simple. All right, let's see how we do here. Tap, tap, tap. Not too much. Hopefully we get everything. And if not, you know they're waiting in the wings. And, oh, I see some glitter. Now, I always tell you with photopolymer to put something underneath. But these have been stamping beautifully, so I didn't. Alrighty. No ink on my hands? Nope, we're good. Alrighty. So, by doing it, good, I did do it this way. By using, again, an envelope that I opened up, and it's from the Paper Pumpkin kit, I'll be able to use all the rest here. So, I already have these cut out, like so, and come to Sandy. And this, all I want is the word jolly. I'm going to take that one off and use a different jolly. So, same card base as the first one. This, however, is different. I can't really tell you what size, but when you're cutting it, I would probably use that, if you have a scrap or just cut from your paper, about, well, this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then you can use the die cut. So I had this idea that I would, before I glue this on, believe it or not, I'm remembering, that I would take this. This is the Starry Sky, so bringing in the blue color again. The Starry Sky woven metallic ribbon. And I would try something on this side. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll find out. Let's go about here. So because you have these little open scallops, you should be able to get it in the right one. Is that the right one? I guess we'll find out. Uh-oh, don't turn it over when you're trying to figure out if you're in the right one. That one. Helps to put your hand there. Feed it through there. And there. And I didn't know if I could just do, open it up a little wider, if I could just do like a little bow or something. So when you're just trying things out and you're not 100% sure, just kind of line it up the best you can. Okay, and I don't think I have anything. Well, I can use the block, which before I use that block, I'm going to get the ink off the stamp. Okay, let's say that's just sitting there. So now we're playing pretend again. And then this I would have put on an angle. And then this, I still have to cut. So we're hand cutting, like so. 'Tis the season to be, boop, jolly, which is here. Because this is pretty wide open, so that's why I wasn't sure. And I realize these are different colors, but I don't dislike it. So I want them kind of wonky. Boop, and boop. Kind of like that. Not sure if I want them right on top of, I think if I put it right on top of on here, it kind of, you know? So have to do it kind of here and there. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with this. I don't know if I can make a bow. If I understand correctly, if you do it this way, my bow should turn out the right direction, hopefully. But you're going to need that end. This is ribbon that you don't want to play around with too much. I don't know if you can see this, but just little pieces come off. It's because you can make the ends this really cool kind of wispy look, but you don't want the whole ribbon to look wispy. Okay, I'm just doing the little loops and a pull and find that end and a pull and like that. Always make them smaller and then pull again. Now this is going to be a little bit loose. You can hide that at the back of the card. And this is all wonky now. And again, hide it at the back of the card. And I was thinking I would pop this up, This is me just playing. I do not have an original of this card. We're just playing around. I think I could keep that. I think I could live with that. And you know what? If I can't, I have been known to take ribbon out, and you can't tell. It's still all wonky looking though. So if I want to, that ribbon's a little too loose, so I could use tape, or I could just use my tape runner. Let's see if I can just get that pulled a little tighter. There, now it's tighter. So that was just a little piece, and then I just made a little wonky thing there. Oh, make sure your card's not upside down. Again, same base as the last two, which is why I didn't give you the measurements. Are you straight? Look straight. All right, so this I am going to pop up. So this time I'm going to get out the big dimensionals. Now, just want to show you something. When you're done with your blending brushes, do not put them on top of your dimensionals. It doesn't hurt them. It's not going to hurt them because that top little sticky bit, or that top little thing comes off anyway. So that doesn't affect it. It just doesn't look pretty for videos. That's all. That's all. And because I heat embossed this, you'll notice it's got a bit of a curve on it. I may just do this. Put a little bit more adhesive on the sides just to hold it down a little bit better. Okay, off you go. Off you go. You can use your Take Your Pick tool. Let's give that a try because fingernails aren't working today for that. I know I took that middle one off already. Come, there we go. Alrighty, and I do want this on an angle because the card is pretty plain, simple. Plain, simple. I don't know what the right words are. Oh, I thought that was a word. You want to do whatever you can to make it pretty. So trying to avoid the snowflakes. And you know what? I really don't want that down flat. So I'm going to pop these up. I know, double poppage. It's true. Oh, you know what? I'm going to cut them in half first. You might find it easier to cut the big ones in half, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, I can't see what my hands are doing. And I'm going to put on more dimensionals than I probably would have if they had not been this hadn't been popped up. This time oh, so tiny. Go away. Get another one. I messed that one up. I messed it up. All right. They look like little stones on here. See if I can pull that up. Alrighty. 'Tis the season. And I kind of feel like it should go the same angle as the card, as this layer. 2B. Let's see where Jolly's going and then we'll decide. Yep, all in kind of different spots. Beauty, I like it. I'm going to use a big one for Jolly. Oh, I'm going to use almost a full big one for Jolly. There we go. Almost, yeah. Okay, I'm going to cut that one in a little bit, is I think what I'm trying to say. And then 2B, we're going to go back to these little dudes. Hopefully I cut enough. I think I did. I might be off screen. My apologies. Okay, 1 and 2. So you can have a lot of fun just playing around with the stamps. If you don't heat emboss, then just stamp the snowflake. You know, you can do whatever you want. Oh, I like that. I feel like I have to move this guy up just a tiny bit though. Hopefully it comes off. If it doesn't, we're going to stay in the same spot. He's not coming off the way I would like. So, I don't really think, well, we'll try them. As I say, I didn't really think, but I do like, I'm going to make the bow bigger. I do like silver and blue. Probably cut those tails a fair bit. Okay, so saving one of those little guys. Oh yeah, I do like them on there. Okay, oh, there's another little one. I don't want to overwhelm the card, you know, with big, unless with big, these are the basic rhinestones, which I love and have multiple packs of. If nothing else, have those in your stash too. All right, so there it is. And again, I probably do a little bit of Winkestell on it, not a ton. So let's bring in those cards. Look at that. Okay, and then number 1, extra plain. So really, all you had to do was cut this, emboss. Well, cut that. You've already cut your envelope. And then these you cut out of the actual full sheet. Heaven forbid we waste. This one definitely is crying out for Winkestella. Look how different they are. All right, so let's bring, oh, wait, that's my original. Let's bring in the cards using, I guess I should put that one, nope, that's Mary. There, there, and there. So you've got your I made them, and then I made them using the instructions. Anyway, I think they're all really pretty. I also want to put Winkestella on these. Just add a little bit more to them. But there they are. My eyes are drawn to this one in the center. You tell me which one you like the best. And if you're going to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or if you already are. So, my friends, I'm going to see you next Tuesday. It's another blog hop with my international team, so it should be awesome. You'll see that video next Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your support. Even if you don't purchase anything, leave a comment, a thumbs up, subscribe. All of that helps me become a little more visible on YouTube. Thank you so much. See you soon.